So I want to talk a little bit about why there's such a disconnect between the NT wives and the ASD husbands. And this is a kind of oversimplification, but the NT wife, when she's under stress, she will tend to, not solely 100% of the time, but her tendency may be to implode. And one of the ways that can look is depression. The ASD man will tend to, not 100% of the time, but will have the tendency to explode. An example of that would be rage. So the end result of having a long, troubled neurodiverse marriage is the NT wife is often the one that's more depressed. The ASD man is often the one that does more of the meltdowns or shutdowns, which is a way to avoid meltdown. The other dynamic in place is the NT women needs to talk about the problem. I didn't say wants or prefers. She needs to talk about the problem. She wants to share and talk about feelings. She prefers a connection during stress and crisis. The ASD man most often does not want to talk about the problems, doesn't want to share emotions, is out of touch with his emotions and her emotions, and prefers a disconnection through stress, anxiety, crisis. The NT woman will want to seek support and associate when she's trying to problem solve and troubleshoot. The ASD man will want to disassociate, and he does that in the form of a shutdown, where this is too stressful for me, I'm going to have to leave. And so why this stark difference is because the NT wife is highly developed socially and emotionally. The ASD man, not to her level, but he is highly logical. And so she's kind of filtering things mostly through the emotional brain. He's filtering things mostly, not entirely, the logical brain. And so what I'm trying to do here, as odd as it sounds, is I'm trying to normalize what you two are going through. This is not normal. Well, it is normal because he's wired one way and you're wired a different way. So all these things that you're experiencing and all of these issues that you're going through, given the disparity between the NT female brain and the ASD male brain, is very normal. It's to be expected. It's not a surprise. There's nothing going wrong. There's no malicious intent. So one person has a survival mode, the other person has a different survival mode. One person has a connection mode, the other person has a different connection mode. So yes, I want to normalize the dynamic in place. If you're in a neurodiverse marriage, what you have been experiencing is typical. I've worked with thousands of neurodiverse couples. And what everyone you in here is experiencing as a couple, that is what the others have experienced. This is not my opinion. It's my informal research on a ton of anecdotal reports and working with people one-on-one. I see it all the time. I'm not saying it's fair, unfair, right, wrong, good, bad. I am saying it's a challenge. I am saying it can be hurtful. I am saying that sometimes it feels unfair and just plain wrong, but I wouldn't go on how it feels. Just know, at least if not in your heart, know in your head that everything that you've experienced based on the dynamic involved in the neurodiverse couple, everything you're experiencing is very typical, very normal, very routine